Yo, 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 what is
Oh,
up?
shit.
Welcome to Basic Brunches Live. Yay. Oh,
Woo!
let's try that again. What's up? Welcome to Basic Brunches Live. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
You know,
Happy Valentine's Day.
everybody's trying to live stream those rom-com movies right now, so my internet might be like pooping, but it's okay cuz I got amazing people with me. And let's welcome these amazing people.
Yay.
I'm just an awkward turtle, that's all. All right, below me is Miss Raven. You may recognize her from all the Nom Talk live shows that we have.
Now I'm a basic bruncher.
Yeah, you a
I
basic
said that right.
brunchy. Yes. And then right next to me, we have Miss Ginger, fashion designer, and a frequent guest on Basic Brunches. If you haven't seen our YouTube videos, go to our YouTube and watch it. Yes.
Because I am basic.
I feel like we're all basic to an extent.
Trust me, I'm way more basic than this. I'm still wearing sweatpants.
I'm gonna be basic in the future as being.
And then right here, we have Miss Sabina. She is a director. She's a writer. She's the queen of spoopy things. Yeah.
Yes. Lots of spooks.
And I am your host, Stephanie. You're probably sick of seeing me, but that's okay because I don't care. All right, moving on. It is Valentine's Day. But it also is brunchy time. So what are you having for brunch, Miss Ginger?
Well, for brunch, I'm having bacon, eggs, and toast that I made today. Just trying to start healthy than how I've been eating during this parallelogram. So I am starting a new lifestyle change, we'll call it that. And then to drink, I have bubbly water since I'm trying to be healthy, but at least it's flavored and bubbly.
Oh, look at you trying to be all healthy. Oh my goodness.
Trying. We'll see. It's day one.
Miss Sabina, what about you? What are you having for brunch today?
I am drinking rocket lots from the coffee bean is my addiction. I don't have a high threshold for caffeine. If I get a bigger one than this, I have like major anxiety and I will crash so hard. It's incredible. Which sucks on the days that I get free drinks because I literally get this every day and they try to like upgrade me for free as a surprise. And I'm like, no, you do not want to give me the bigger size like that. I cannot handle. But yeah, this is my unhealthy, but also can be healthy because I have a no sugar added version addiction. It's the caffeine I need every day. For brunch, I brought a little cupcake that's a Valentine's Day cupcake from my favorite gluten-free bakery called Bread Block. And it's a strawberry shortcake, and it has like really fancy whipped cream that has no refined sugars. And it's sweetened with like a bunch of like cool natural stuff that I can't name off the top of my head, but it gives me the illusion that it's real sugar. But my coffee bean drink does currently have real sugar. It has roses petals, and strawberries on the inside, and that's my basic.
Nice.
That sounds delicious. I just made pancakes that I found in my pantry because, you know, what can you do during the end of the world?
Is that the pancake cereal episode?
Same pancakes. Oh gosh. No, same pancake mix, but it's bigger and it took much less time. Y'all, okay. When we did the TikTok trends on Nom Talk Live, I decided, let me make pancake cereal, like little itty bitty bites, little tiny pancakes, and it took forever, and I never want to do it again. So live and learn. And I'm drinking a fusion between like the sea salt caramel hot chocolate and like Vietnamese coffee, and I feel like I'm going to have some stutters along the way, but that's okay. That's what makes it fun, you know?
Well, Vietnamese strength coffee.
Let's get the twitchy on. And of course, I'm going to leave Raven as last because we know she is the queen of like making bombastic food that just looks like Raven. Miss Raven, please talk about what you made today.
You call me Captain Extra for a reason, and you said brunch, and of course my brain goes, I can do something simple. No, I can't.
Never.
So we've got fresh raspberries. We've got a raspberry banana parfait. I've got some really nice strong coffee. Oh, you can't even see the wurst at the back. So I've got wurst and cheese, and then I have 3 types of finger sandwiches. Turkey salad, barbecue pork curry, and a chocolate and coffee cream spread.
Oh my god, listen, when the Panasonic is over, we need to do like a Red Table Talk version of this show.
Oh, heck
And
yes.
you have to be the first guest.
By all means, I am there for it.
And that would be incredible.
Yes.
Like, I'm sorry, I can't eat this through the thing.
A red table talk.
Sonic,
Love
I'm
food.
dying. Y'all. Y'all. And anybody
yes,
that's
absolutely.
tuning in, like, tell us, what are you eating? What are you drinking? Are you drinking water? As boring as that may seem, hydration is good for you. Let us know. If you're drinking hardcore whiskey, you know what? It's Valentine's Day. Nobody cares. Tell
Right.
us.
I don't judge.
we don't judge. But first and foremost, today is Valentine's Day, but yesterday was Galentine's Day. And, you know, thanks to Parks and Rec, we now have this holiday where we celebrate and declare our affection for the girls that make your support system. And as much as I would love to just be like tagging everybody yesterday and calling everybody yesterday, I would need 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's so hard because
Right.
I get anxiety about leaving people out, and I'm just like, that's not what my intention was. So
Right.
Yeah.
There's so many friends that
Exactly.
are helping
So,
and just in my network.
Mm-hmm.
right. And this is what I would love to know. I would like to, you know, expand and show our love and appreciation for a few of our friends because we have so many friends. You know, well, more than one friend is so many to me. So we have, like, we got a lot of friends. And there's only so much time that we can say hello and how much we love you. So I would like this moment to be a good time to, like, think of 3 friends that you know that you would just like to be like, Happy Galentine's Day, babe. I love you and I miss you kind of thing. But let's start with Miss Raven.
Okay. Well, I would like to thank Miss Diana. She helped me get into this new place, and she's always been very supportive and like really pushed me forward to like do my thing because she believes in me. I'm still trying to figure out why. I want to thank you, Sandy, because you've kept my head up and like kept me going creatively, and I really needed that. And I'd love to thank my friend Dawn. She's at the Art of Dawn on Instagram and on Twitter. And she was the first person who really pushed me to like do my artwork and try my hobbies and like actually have some freaking faith in myself. So love you guys. You're amazing.
I love it. Aw, shucks. I mean, damn. Okay. Well, I love you too. Miss Sabina, what about you, my lady? My lady.
yes, oh my gosh, like just calling out 3 people is stressful, but it will definitely say number 1 to you, Stephanie, because you are organizing these things and I get to hang out with you on Valentine's Day, and that's so cool. And I miss you a bunch, and Gus Gus misses you a bunch. My little dog Gus Gus is Stephanie and Alex's dog nephew. And every time that we've like done a drop-off drive-by for like Christmas and like gifts and stuff, he cries like at the window and is like, oh, I want to say hello, I want to say hello, and it's so sad, but it's also the most adorable. And then I'm trying to shout out friends who might be watching and that I haven't seen in a while. My friend Melissa Molina, she's a professional, so I'm not gonna like put her IG in, but she is an awesome lady who works at Peacock/Universal, and she does awesome nerdy things, and she does have animation IG called Bizarre Babble, which is her cool creative outlet on the IG. And then I want to shout out my sister-in-law, Lauren. She's an awesome hairdresser in Houston, and she makes me look so pretty whenever I go over there, and she gives me a haircut. Um, and I really miss her and my nephew Emery, and they're so far away, which is sad because we usually see them once a year for the holidays, and we did not last year. So, yeah.
Oh, well, thank you. And yeah, I miss Lauren and Gus. They're so, yeah, I miss them. And then Miss Ginger, lady.
Yeah. So for me, also, I feel like I don't have enough. I don't have many friends, but then also I feel like I have a lot of friends. But I'm going to shout out for this Galentine's Day are my sisters, my chocolate covered cosplay sisters, Angel Tenchi, who just relaunched her brand Angel T Apparel, online and on Instagram. So I'm super proud of her. So I wanted to shout her out. She's just really thriving and really, just following her dream, which I love. And then my friend Deanna, who is I365 art on Instagram, but she just bought a house. She moved out of LA, but just her and her husband just bought a house. So super excited, super amazing for them. They're still unpacking, so they're just kind of sitting in boxes and have their computers up, but super proud of them, love them. And then my friend Ashford on Instagram, which I don't think she really updates her Instagram all that much. I think more on Facebook, but Ashy Chan Bakes. Just because, she's just super sweet. She's, working on new things for herself and just self-care and just kind of helping me with that as well. So I just wanted to shout out to those three ladies because I've seen Angel a few times only because we work together at the same place. She's my assistant at the costume shop I work at, but it's very, very rare. And then Ashford and Deanna, I haven't seen them, I think, since like Deanna's wedding, maybe. So it's been a minute. So, but I've loved them very much. And they're, my cosplay sisters. And, we just it almost seems like we grew up together, but we didn't because we met maybe 10 years ago, but it still kind of seems growing up adult life, so. So yeah, I would say those would be my, three that I would shout out just because it's been a while since we've all kind of came together as cosplay sisters and done any cosplay because life happens and we're just living it.
No, for sure. The Polaroid really messed us up this past couple of years.
Mm-hmm. That parallel, it's just messed up everything.
That Polaroid's not developing really fast here. It's just
really. I thought it was just. I was one of those people that really thought it was going to be over in a couple months. Well, that's what I hope because my wedding was in a couple months, so I really hoped it would be over, and it wasn't. So now I'm still unmarried, but it's fine. I still call my fiance my husband. So
yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I feel like a few of my friends, they just did the courthouse thing, so they're legally married, but they're not going to do a lot of, I feel like in our generation, a lot of people kind of do that courthouse, get the paperwork done and then wait later to have a ceremony and stuff. Cause it's look, it's your wedding. It's nobody else's wedding. You don't have to share that with people if you don't want to.
Right.
Right. So many weddings last year. I was so sad.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely that friend who's excited to be a part of people's weddings and then excited to be someone's godmother. And I'm just this is ruined on my plans.
Yes, I know. Parallelogram.
Parallelogram. I'm gonna rewatch these. Once we put them on YouTube, I'm gonna watch this video and just take a shot every time we call it something else because I don't want to call it what it is. We know what it is. But it's brunch time.
Panda Express. Because I'm beginning up that Burbank drive-thru.
Legit.
It is really good.
Oh my gosh. Let me see. I guess my 3 shout outs would go to, like, I mean, you guys are definitely, but I felt like, well, you're already here. So I love you guys. I love you, Ginger, Sabina, and Raven. I love you guys. You guys are awesome and amazing. And on top of that, I guess I'm cheating because I'm like, and then there are these 3.
You got 6 shout outs.
Sneaky. I have a shout out to my friend Christina. I've known her since high school. I worked with her briefly at Disney, and you know, we have a lot of mutual friends, and they hang out a lot. But because I invested time doing the hustle more than hanging out with people, I miss opportunities. But she's still been that friend, like still checking in, like, hey, how are you doing? How are you going? Like, how's it going? Do you have time to hang out? Kind of thing. And you know, I get everybody has the hustle, and it's totally okay. But it's nice to have, like, somebody check up on you every once in a while. Like, oh, thanks for thinking of me. I'm so glad I'm not kicked out of that circle. It's my imposter syndrome kind of situation. But anyways.
I'm always worried about, like, bothering people when they're busy, because, I get you.
Oh, it's so real. And another friend would be June. And June, like, I've known her when I went to Disney frequently. And Sabina, I'm so sad we never, like we never knew each other when I had my, like, annual pass hype thing and just going every day.
That would have been so cool to run away with you all the time.
Exactly. It would have been so fun.
They're like, yeah, no one has a pass. We're all like legacy pass holders. We're like, oh, like we got put out to pasture. They were like, we're sunsetting this. And I was like, excuse me?
Right?
What?
No, thanks. But, you know, when the pandemic started happening, like, she works in, you know, she's an essential worker. And so my friend June would call and be like, hey, do you need me to grab something at the market while I'm at work? And then just kind of be like, you want to, you know, like, we're happy to drive out and pick it up from her. So it's like, well, thank you for doing the shopping for us. I really appreciate it. And she doesn't work at, like, Ralph's. She works at, like, a nice organic place, so I get really excited whenever she does, like, her little shopping thing. And so thanks, June. I love you, and I see you, and I appreciate you. You're doing the thing. You're an essential worker, and we thank you for working.
Which I think I heard that they just said that they can do the vaccines sooner.
Finally. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Dude. I'm like, okay, if you're in the front lines, you should be getting vaccinated, like, now.
I'm really hoping that it goes by at least a little faster than we would think, because, like, they just ordered a bunch for California. And then, but, like, unfortunately, only half of our Californian population believes in getting the vaccine pretty much. So they ain't rushing to go get it until probably workplaces or whatever are going to require it. So maybe that would mean everyone who's high risk can get it sooner. There was a whole thing. I'm in, like, that high risk sort of group too, where it's like, you know, they took us off the, like, next step thing, and they just did the ages, and we were like, okay. But then they just did in the past, like, 2 days, they were like, if you're in the high risk group, ages 16 to, like, 65, and if you're an essential worker for, like, grocery stores and stuff, you will be able to get the vaccine sooner.
Oh man, that's, well, sooner rather than later, California, or the world, global, sooner rather than later, please. And last but not least is my friend Sarah, and I've known her, gosh, for so long, like, since she was a kid. But anyways, like, we used to do tea parties all the time when we were into Lolita at the same time, and she moved to Texas to work with United Against Human Trafficking. And that's an organization a nonprofit that dedicates trying to end human trafficking and trying to show people, like, these are the signs, this is what you do, what can you, like, you know, in the situation where you were outside and you notice something that fits these flags, like, what do you do, kind of thing. And they're just trying to, like, empower the survivors and trying to, like, educate and get rid of trafficking. And, you know, like, that's I know when she first got the job, she was super excited about it because she really wants to, you know, make a difference and try to, like, you know, take it down. I mean, everybody wants to take it down, but, you know, it's one thing to see somebody talk about it, and it's another for them to, like, drop their life, move somewhere new, to go and pursue the thing, and I'm proud of her. So, yay, gals!
Yay.
And honestly, like, I feel like Galentine doesn't have to necessarily be just girls. It could be like anybody who you're really close with who is your support system. So it could be family, it could be, you know, this or that. So all the gals and guys and pals, Palentines. Happy Palentine's Day.
Yeah, I like Palentines.
I do like Valentine's Day. Yes.
Yay.
You should trademark that. Do it as a thing. Valentine's Day.
I've seen people call it Palentine's Day lately, and I'm like,
Cool.
Nice.
I kind of want it,
Mm.
you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that moves on to today, which is Valentine's Day. And I know, like, you know, different countries have different traditions. And I know, like, in South Korea, the 14th of almost every single month has something dedicated to something romantic. So, like, today would be when women give a gift to the men. And then next month on the 14th, it's whoever got the gift to give it back. And then in April 14th, I feel like is the best
Also
day.
in Japan, yeah.
Yeah, and Japan, because that originated like back in the 70s. And on the 14th of April, if you didn't get any gifts, you gather around and eat jjajangmyeon, which is like black bean noodles. And it's a holiday like dedicated for singles.
That's really nice, though. That's really nice because so many holidays are couples. Like, that's kind of nice.
Exactly. So I've always wondered, like, do you guys know of any traditions in other countries?
I do want to.
Well, I know about. Oh, go ahead. Oh, I was gonna say. I think you mentioned it already. The White Day one in Japan, and it's funny because I discovered that years ago reading Card Captors manga, and I didn't know that was a thing until I was reading Card Captors, and then it was like in the story where like Lee gave Sakura something, and then Sakura was like, "Oh yeah, but you dropped off the Valentine's thing at my mailbox. Did you not want me to know that it was you?" And like, yeah, so that's what I thought that was actually really cute. So, so that one I think is super cute.
That's so cute. And Sabina, you were gonna say something as well.
So I sort of have known about it. My best friend Christine lives in Japan with her husband and her little baby. Who's no longer a baby, she's like 4.
Not a baby.
I was actually like y'all, like sleep is hard to come by some days and stuff. So sometimes I'll just stay up and hang out with my friend who lives in Japan because it's like daytime at nighttime here, or daytime there, nighttime here. Yes. So I was actually tagging along with her on like FaceTime when she was shopping for her husband to get, and she was like, "I'm gonna get him a chocolate box, but should I get the really big chocolate box? Because I know me and Kylie are gonna want to dig into it." And I was like, "Go for the big chocolate box because yeah, you're right. Get like the assortment. That way you and the child could dig into it." Because she was like, "I don't want to wait a whole month to like get my chocolates." So I was that good influence friend who was like, "Just get the big box so y'all could share and then just get more chocolate in a month."
Oh, but I love it. So yeah,
That's cute.
All the viewers out there, if you know of other traditions, like let us know in the comments. Even if it's like something from Japan or South Korea, you could just be like, "Yeah, I know about that." Like we know, we want to know if you know. So.
Yeah, I've always wanted to know like what other places do because I only know about America and Japan because of manga. So yeah, it's like, oh, what do other people do? Like, do they know about this? Is it just us? Is it just us?
I know. It's like it can't be just us.
In Mexico, it's still pretty much like just a commercial sort of holiday too. So it's very similar to here. I could be wrong. I've never like celebrated it in Mexico, but like my parents like would always exchange like Valentine's Day gifts. And I see my relatives post like fun Valentine's Day sort of like pictures and like bears and stuff.
Aww.
That's cute.
Yeah. Okay, and to sum this up, I'd love to do like a little game of yes or no. So yes or no in regards to romance films. And I only picked 4 just because it's like we don't have a lot of time. So yes or no, Call Me by Your Name.
No.
Call Me by Your Name. I don't think I've seen that movie.
Same.
Now it's ruined.
No.
Do y'all not know about the cannibal rumors about Army Hammer?
No.
What?
Okay,
What?
the cannibal rumors are not like, so now we're gossiping. Yay, Galentines.
Hey.
I mean, it's called basic brunches for a reason.
Right.
So what had happened was some Instagram conversations leaked with Army Hammer and girls who he slid into their DMs, and he was all like, "I want to eat your flesh," and they were like, "Oh, this is weird." So then they would like not talk to him anymore or whatever. But the cannibal thing is like the most blown out of proportion part of it. Whether or not it's like a kink or whatever, like, you know, people who actually practice kinks know about boundaries and they know like how to be a part of that community, and he clearly was pushing boundaries to the point of abuse. There was a big conversation about how, you know, white men, privileged men, like with power and the generational wealth, kind of like engage in like very gaslighty and abusive situations with women. And there was like a whole thing that happened where a lot of women started kind of like talking about their experiences with him and how really like dangerous things got. The weird thing that happened was that in the middle of the Panasonic, homeboy was building a hotel in Palm Springs, and there might have been bodies found. And like every day there's a threat that whatever he's really being like looked into about is gonna drop, but his family's so rich they're probably like shutting it down. But like, listen, he got dropped by his representation, he got dropped by all the movies he was gonna be in. Probably the Call Me By Your Name sequel is no longer happening unless they recast him. Keep Timothy like safe, please. He is the purest. But yeah, no, like a lot of like his assistant quit. Like, so I don't know. It's really, really sketchy. And homeboy is like down in like the Cayman Islands hiding.
Dude, if it was just a little bit of a rumor, he would still have all those people. So, whatever's going on
there must be some kind of truth to it, or I don't know, but
oh shit.
There's no confirmation of anything, but like the fact that you got dropped by everything.
Yeah.
Is his wife still around, or did she walk?
She walked like a year ago. Yeah.
Man. I'm getting a sip of my coffee tea.
The tea is hot.
That Kermit Mimi makes so much more sense now. Oh, jeez. Well, moving on to the next film. Deadpool. Is that a romance movie or not?
Oh my god, yes.
I would say yeah.
I think so. Be consensual with his kinks.
Oh, that is.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that is
funny.
Deadpool and Deadpool 2 are like two of the best rom-coms ever.
Yes.
Right? It blows my mind that, like, okay, I'm not gonna lie, when it came out on Valentine's Day, I was like, this is not something we watch on Valentine's Day, but lo and behold, I'll still watch it anyways because I love comics. And I was just like, this is a very open-minded movie. And I'm like, I'm so woke. I feel like woker.
I absolutely like. Not only is it a good story, it's a good love story. It's actually rather complicated. They don't shy away from who he is as a person because he is, I think, one of the first pansexual and very much out pansexual comic book characters. But he still has really great relationship with Vanessa, and it's like, oh my goodness, it's so good.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And guys out there, if you get in a situation where you're not as pretty as you were when you met your bae, don't run away.
Yeah.
Face the facts of the change and see where it takes you. Heartbreak? Maybe. More love?
You won't even need to staple Hugh Jackman's face to your face.
That was so good. All right, Ginger. What? So you also agree that this is considered a romance movie?
Yeah, yes, I do, and I think even like the promos for it also were really funny because they promoted it like it was like, oh, this is gonna be a love story between boy meets girl, and like the way they did it was like really hilarious. But then like even watching the movie, like how Raven was saying, like watching the movie and you see how they interact and how they ended up kind of like falling in love, and you know, even their like romantic and sex scenes were kind of funny because like the women's power, what was it, like, Women's Day or something?
Happy International Women's Day.
It was like I could not stop laughing at that part.
Oh, so good. Nice.
Oh, man.
It was just like you say, like he's just so open and like, you know, like whatever, I'll do anything for this girl, whatever, and like, you know, save her, and then, you know, kind of felt a type of way because he didn't look the same, but still, it was still a really good. I think it is a romance movie, but it's like it doesn't take itself like too seriously or too like. There's like a really good balance of like, okay, it's serious, but it's funny, but it's not too serious and not this like crazy romantic movie. So yes, I agree.
Oh my gosh. And for those watching, if you want to know more about Deadpool and the X-Men, Raven has a podcast. She's part of a podcast that talks all about the diversity and the inclusion of X-Men and the even like some of the controversies behind some of it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We touch on it. We'd like to keep everything nice and light and positive, but when we find things that need to be addressed, we do address them. Because the only way you get change is by actually making some waves.
Yeah. Moving forward, next film is Love and Basketball.
Love and Basketball.
Have you seen the movie?
Yeah, that was like, wasn't that like, was it 90s or 2000s?
That was 2000s.
I think it was like late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah. I vaguely remember because I think I only saw it like once or so at.
I think I slept through most of it.
Yeah, but I think it was. I mean, it was one of those kind of like, I don't know, like predictable 90s. Like I don't know, like because you look back at like 90s movies, you're like, dang, this was so predictable. Like, why was I like so into this? And like, I didn't know what was gonna happen next. And you watch them, and you're like, wait a minute, this was very predictable.
Let's see.
Mean, I'll call it a romance film, but yeah, it was like one of those. I know this. I get that you put basketball on top of it, but I pretty much know what's going to happen next.
Right.
I see. Okay, because I was like Googling all these different lists. So some of these titles are based off of like Collider's list of best romance movies, and maybe like one or two from Oprah's list. But okay,
exactly.
Okay, Oprah.
I'm like, I need some other lists because I'm looking at some of these and I'm like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Sabina, I'm looking at you. Please write a list.
Sorry, by the way, my dog. I don't know if you heard him, but he was like scratching at the door very hard, and I was like, "What happened?" He just wants to sit here.
It's like I must be loved.
What a booger.
Is Love and Basketball a romance movie?
I actually haven't seen it, but I will add that to my to-do list. But I agree with some of these websites, you know, should really hire more diverse voices to provide these lists and not just during random times of the year, but as staff writers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. Next movie is Up. Now, okay, I put this on this list because Disney Plus has it in their Valentine's Day playlist of movies. I want to know what you think. Romance movie or not?
It made me cry in the first 8 minutes, but I
think it's more like a friendship.
Isn't that like all Disney and Pixar movies? Like they just make you want to. This is why I haven't seen Coco yet, because everyone says Coco.
It's gonna
cry through the whole movie, and
it's
you just
so good, but
and cry. And they say yes, it is great and it's beautiful, and the story's beautiful, but you will sob. And I'm like, see, I'm not ready for that because literally, like every little, like any little type of emotion makes me cry. Any type of that, like because I'm an empath and it's just too much, so I can't.
Just
so
put a
one
plate
day,
under your face, you'll be able to rim a glass for margaritas afterwards. That's all I gotta say. I cried so hard, but it was so good.
That's what I hear. I know. One day I'll watch it, but I don't know. I don't think Up would be like it has. Like the grandpa, there's a romance part. Like you understand why he became like an old angry man and like all that kind of stuff. but I wouldn't say it's really like a romance movie. I mean, like there's a story in there, but I wouldn't say so. I don't know, but that's just me. I wouldn't think of Up as like Valentine's movie romance.
I would argue Wally is more of a romance.
Yes.
Yeah, Wally. Yeah,
it's Eve and Wally like just courting
and they
each
don't
other.
even really talk.
They don't talk, but like just the music is beautiful and like yes. But no, I don't think Up is really a romantic movie. I mean, Carl and Ellie definitely like, you know, couple goals in many respects, you know, a partnership that stuck with each other through no matter what life threw at them and stuff. So I totally get the like mega merchandise like rollout of Carl and Ellie things that Shop Disney had for like this time of the year. But no, I mean, like that movie, you know, has the subplot about the dogs, and then there's like finding Kevin. But I do think it does touch upon obviously like the relationship and like moving on and like expanding your found family and stuff. But I think that, you know, not necessarily a romantic movie.
I'm with you. I feel like if we're gonna be talking about romance movies, no, but the first 10 minutes is better than any romance movie I can imagine, to be honest.
Yeah.
Just because they go through so many trials and tribulations and they're still together and they still have that, you know, like one track mind of like, we would love to go on adventures together kind of thing. And I love it.
Yeah.
Like, of course there are gonna be sacrifices and like, but other than that, nah, not romance. A love movie, maybe, in different meanings, but that's it.
Not romance.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just kidding. One bonus one. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Romance movie or not?
Yeah, that was a romance movie. And it was so well done that you almost didn't see that till like almost the very end. And like, I love Asian films and both hate Asian films because their endings are so very different from Western films. You cannot expect the same types of endings. But like, it was so beautiful and it was romantic. And yeah, to me, it's definitely. And there's more than one romance going on there, because there's the romance between Chow Yun-fat's character and the female sword master, and then also between the young shinobi and her guy. And it's like, oh, there's so much that's going on there, and it's really wonderful and deep. And yeah, to me, that is a romance.
Meow. Yeah. It sounds like maybe a unanimous for this one. So
I have to actually go back and rewatch it, and I only say that because my brother would watch that movie so much because of the fighting and all that stuff. He was really into martial arts movies, so at some point I just had to tune stuff out because he would always like. And I'm not saying like, oh, he would just watch it once a week. No, I'm saying like several times a day he would be watching multiple martial arts movies, different ones. And he's like, oh yeah, da, da, da. And then he would try to act it out because he's into martial arts and everything. So at some point I just have to tune stuff out because I'm like, I'm not watching this again. And of course, like for, you know, we would only have like, you know, like one TV because our parents would be watching either in the living room. So we would only have our room that we could watch. So I had to watch whatever he watched, or I had to wait or whatever. But now I kind of want to rewatch it and actually see the story, like see the storyline, because I feel like I blurred it out, you know, in a sense of like, I'm like, they're fighting and doing like really cool like moves and stuff, but I did not like watch the storyline. But now I really want to watch it. But I think you're right. You're also right, Raven, about the endings of like Asian films, and they like met with you, and like you're like, wait a minute, like, I wanted more. Like there's like a few like shows on Netflix and stuff that are, you know, that I'll watch, and I'll watch the whole series, and I'm like, wait, like, is there gonna be a season 2? Like, I'm so like, is there gonna be more to this? Like, I feel like the ending didn't do anything.
Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah. And that. Yeah. So on that note, we're moving away from Valentine's Day. February 18th, Drink Wine Day. Yeah, there you go. All you wine drinkers, all you basics, this is your day.
The winos out there.
The winos. It's the day to wine. So I know we briefly touched up on this in Nom Talk Live when the theme was wine. And there are ways that you can cook with wine, and there are certain wines that you use specifically for cooking. So have you ever tried cooking with wine or baking with it? And if so, what was the dish that you liked to make? And if not, have you ever had a dish with wine in it that you liked?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, slightly different answer there.
All right, Miss Raven, aside from what we've already discussed on Nom Talk Live, is there anything that you like making that has wine in it?
So I tend to like Prosecco's and Moscatos and ice wines. Those are all very sweet dessert wines. They reduce really well into syrups. And I love adding those as kind of a little bit of a flavoring to buttercreams. It gives them just that really nice, light, sweet taste. And also bakes really well in white cakes. So if you want to do like a nice, light, lovely cupcake, I would definitely say use a bit of a sweet wine in those. And that's always my happy if I'm going to bake with wine.
Miss Sabina?
I, for most of my 20s, have been mostly a hard liquor drinking sort of gal, whiskey, gin, and mostly whiskey. Recently, gin, rum, and just, not really a wine person technically for most of my 20s. I have friends who were red wine drinkers who would always be like, when you reach a certain age, you will be into the wines and stuff. But I'm also not into like really like specific fruity sort of textures is not my thing. So red wine I still kind of don't like. But I have gotten into some white wines. I'm definitely like a Chardonnay, buttery, oaky sort of fan and stuff. I get down with that butter wine for sure. And I have also cooked with wine, and I do like red wine in some meat dishes for sure. And then my favorite dish to cook with wine was this meal kit that I found at Gelson's years ago. I think by like Emerald, I think it was Emerald, or no, it might have been like Wolfgang Puck. No, it was Wolfgang Puck. He had some meal kits like at Gelson's, and they had a turkey Dijon dish that was like a mustard Dijon turkey, just creamy, delicious meal, and that used Chardonnay. And it was like,
oh man, that sounds phenomenal. Jeez, like
I did keep the recipe card because they stopped offering that meal kit, and I was like, no,
dude.
No,
I can still make it because I was like, that's like my holy, like I will keep it forever.
It's the holy grail. And Ginger, I know before we started the live stream, you mentioned you're not super into wine.
Yeah.
So
like I'm
wow,
not
just
like
throw her under that bus.
it's okay. I throw
know,
myself under the bus too. I'll do it with everybody.
Back up over it. Back over.
It's like, let me just do the rolling real quick. Done.
I'm not like I'm not that much into wine. I do like sweet wines, but like just because my friends will be like, oh no, try this, it's really sweet, I swear you'll like it. I'm like, oh okay. But I typically drink like wine coolers or like Smirnoff Ice, which is like not very much alcohol or anything. It's mainly like juice, and then here's like a add something with wine in it, because like if I see it on the menu, I feel like I don't get it because I just feel like I don't know how it's gonna taste. So, but I know you like eat cheese and wine together, so I do cheese. So if I would have to pick something that I eat with wine, it would have to be cheese, maybe mac and cheese. That would be actually really great.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I should expand my palate a little bit, but I'm not so much of an alcohol drinker either. Like I'm very much like vodka, cranberry. All right, I'm good.
Oh yeah, no, of course.
That's what I like.
No, that's okay.
Nothing wrong with that.
Oh man, I can't even like. I gotta ask like my wine friends who are like super into it, like what would you pair with like a mac and cheese, like Kraft mac and cheese, what wine would you pair with that, you know, like those kind of questions. Like they're super basic out of the pantry foods, what would you pair with that?
Right.
Probably white Zinfandel would do well. But if you like very sweet wines, then either a Moscato or an ice wine. And ice wine is like a super sweet dessert wine. It's absolutely gorgeous.
I didn't even know about like ice wine. I'm like, what's the three?
Ice wine.
And I,
Oh my God.
you know, like half my family are just like super basic white wine drinking people that live in the wine vineyard areas, and like it's like, why do you not educate me in these things? How dare you?
Ice wine is like the Narnia of wines. It's so, oh my goodness. So what happens is usually when there's a freak cold snap in a vineyard, they'll go out and get the grapes while they're still frozen and press them. So you get a very refined juice, like high concentration juice, low water. And so, yeah, it's just very thick, almost syrupy, velvety wine that they get from it. And it's just so sweet and so good.
Oh, that sounds so much. I feel like we talked about this too. Oh, put my fork down.
So.
I feel like we talked about this too. Man, and I'm not gonna lie. So my favorite dish that I like to make when I feel like putting wine, and not mirin kind of wine, just like regular wine, is that grilled cheese that I tried for the live stream. I tried it again, and I did it correctly this time, and it tasted so freaking good. Guys, grilled cheese with like strawberry jam and red wine and ham. This just like, so good. Damn. But there's this wine that I found a couple years ago. No, a couple years ago. It's Moscato d'Asti, and it's a dessert wine with very little alcohol, and it's heckin' sweet. Heckin' sweet. Like I drank like I think a glass of it, and I was just like, oh, this is so tasty, and I want to drink a whole bottle now. And I'm like, this is how you get in trouble, y'all. Dude.
Yeah.
So
that's how you become a wino.
This is, and therefore I am in that category. But a quick moving on. Let's see. My brain's just like, hello, what do you want? Okay, a quick moving on.
It's the longest personal statement season.
February 22nd is Margarita Day. I personally am not a fan of margaritas just because I'm allergic to tequila, but I'm curious on what you guys would think would go well with a margarita. Like I heard that fish tacos and carne asadas might do really well with like a standard margarita, but I don't know if there are other flavors that you guys have explored, like if you've been to Margaritaville or whatever. But what is your favorite style of margarita?
Margaritaville basic trash. I'm really frustrated because for the most part my husband and I have done like meal kits, and because it's just two of us and we're really bad at like not letting stuff go to waste in the fridge if we get a bunch of like something from the grocery store. But we also do a lot of like order pickup from City Walk. And I am devastated that like they did not open up Margaritaville for like pick up for lunch or dinner. I was like, ¿Por qué? I want like a tower of nachos on some days.
Tower of nachos. That sounds amazing though.
Volcano nachos. There's like queso in there and like meat and like that was, if my husband and I didn't know what to eat for dinner before a movie at City Walk, we would just order that and some margaritas because like those meals were not cheap. So we'd be like, that appetizer is the size of like 2 very unhealthy meals. I would take 3 very unhealthy meals because it's like shareable between like 4 people, and had everything on it. So we just eat that, have some margaritas, and watch a movie at the IMAX.
Dang. Before the panorama.
Before the panorama.
Yeah.
And then
before,
like
in the before time.
Look, I'm very much looking forward to like eating out with friends when this is all over. I am actually looking forward to that.
I miss that so much. Oh, I miss that so much.
Ginger, do you have any
barbecue?
Do you have any like?
I'm sorry.
Yo, K barbecue, yes. I will get wasted off of
so
sake and K barbecue when this is over.
Oh
but what
Bring on
is there like a?
outdoor K barbecue because there's one I like to go to the Targets that are far away from heavily populated places. So I'll go to like the Targets that are like a few towns over. And there was one in like the Topanga area where it was next to like a K barbecue place, and they had like a bunch of tents set up for outdoor K barbecue, and I was like, that's still scary, yo. I don't know.
Those tents are still enclosed.
They're still enclosed.
Yeah, you're still breathing air together.
Right. Like I can understand if it's just the top, but like if you have all the sides, then I'm kind of like you're still breathing in the same air.
Yeah.
But not the same. Like I feel like the science of it doesn't make sense, but I was
nonsense. Nonsense at all. Ginger, is what kind of like margarita do you dig? Do you drink margaritas?
I do like margaritas. I typically like a more slushy margaritas. And I would say, tacos is usually what I have with them. Because I think actually the last time I had a margarita was actually when I was in Mexico, in Ensenada on a Carnival cruise. So I think that was the last time. And the margarita, because it's like
that's the way to do it
there.
Honestly,
so much cheaper over there, and I'm just like, literally, you could have like 3 or 4, and you pay like $5, and then you can have a taco for like $1, and you get like 2 tacos. Like I don't know, it's just so cheap. So you get, and I think like, not last time, but the before time, we got like it was like 2 for 1, so everything was just like half off, and it was great. But I would say, like tacos, like any type of like tacos kind of go with it. And then I like my tacos really spicy, so having like spicy food with a like super cold margarita like really just helps it, happen and getting a little tipsy and walking down, and people try to haggle with you to buy their stuff, and you're like, I'm not trying to buy nothing. And they're like, I need this. $20, and I'm like, if this thing says made in China, it is not $20. I'm like, this is authentic. No, it's not. Out of here.
And Ms.
Raven. It's fun. It's fun. I margaritas in Mexico is like so fun, and the people are so great.
Nah, for sure.
Margaritas, not really my thing, unless they're a Cadillac margarita. The original way to make a margarita, though, added a little bit of orange juice in it, and that cut the sourness of the lemon. So that was the original way they made it. So I love a good Cadillac margarita with like just a little splash of orange juice in there, and pair that with some of the Mexican food that you can get at Max's in Azusa. Oh my God. Like they're just... It's so good. It's so good. Like anything off their list, love them. Love them. And I believe you can just like pick up and go. So they're so worth it. So.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, yes, I'm eating pancakes, but I want tacos now. Like all those tacos. Like tacos.
Yeah.
What is it? I was Googling like different types of margaritas, and I found one called sweet tea key lime margarita, and I'm just like, I don't know what that is. But swap out some tequila with some vodka and let's see where this takes me. Like that just sounds like a beautiful adventure.
I have a dog dying outside. I'll be right back. I swear. Keep going. Keep going.
My favorite fun fact about margaritas, and it actually is like, as someone who has had a very long journey of reconnecting with her roots and unlearning a lot of like internalized like things from, the diaspora of being the child of immigrants and stuff. I really love that margaritas, obviously come from like an agave plant, like tequila comes from agave and stuff. Agave is pollinated by bats.
Oh, really?
We have bats.
Bats pollinate.
Yeah,
I didn't even know they pollinated.
That's crazy. Like, no, actually they do. Like, that's why they're so protected and stuff too. But like, bats need to pollinate the agave to make the agave like legit as fuck. And they are the reason we have tequila. And I'm just like, oh, this all makes sense. That's why I'm so obsessed with bats now. And heart failure. So, I'm totally with y'all. Margaritas and tacos are like the unbreakable marriage. They're marriage goals. They will never be separated. And obviously, gotta like get down on grilling. I'm excited for the Panasonic to be over so I can grill in my backyard and have carne asada gatherings and some margaritas which would be amazing. But yeah.
Yeah. I'm so excited for
Yes.
that to happen.
I know, to see people again and be close and not have to wear a mask. You feel like, touch elbows, like.
Right? I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like, even after everything's open, I'm probably gonna be like, no hugs, elbow. And I'll probably still wear a mask just in case. Because, I mean, like, I'm just so used to wearing masks anyways. So it's like, okay, nothing new. Cool. I know we have a couple more minutes left, and I wanted to actually, I'm always curious, and I'm sure, like, some of the viewers are always curious, like, when it's Panasonic season, like, we can't go outside and watch movies as easily, so what is something to watch? And so what is something that you're binging, or something that you're going back to, like, whether it's television or film? Ginger, do you want to start first?
Oh, sure. Yeah. So, recently I went back. I'm kind of like going back and watching like 90s movies. So one of the ones that I watched recently was Total Recall, with the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger in it. I know, when they go to Mars. Get your ass to Mars. Get your ass to Mars. Oh my god! So I go back and I was rewatching it. I watched it twice recently because one time I was sewing and I was just watching by myself, and then I rewatched it last night with my fiance, and it's just funny to just kind of watch like how, like, I guess rewatching that movie just was really funny, just watching like the fight scenes and how they really like made like Arnold Schwarzenegger like really like super, because there's a part where he was like a jackhammer, right? But he's the only one without a shirt on. You can really see like his guns, and everybody else has like long sleeves on, and I'm like, okay, y'all, like really, he's just like, and you just see his like guns, and I was like, run down. So, it's just so, it's really, it was just like really nostalgic and fun. And I remember like as a kid when I first saw that movie, because my parents watched it, like when they like end up like outside in Mars and they're losing the air and their eyes are bugging out. I remember that creeping me out as a kid, and they're like, and their like eyes are like popping. Oh my god, it still made me like kind of grossed out. But I just kind of like, going back and like watching these old movies and seeing like, oh my god, I was so into this, or I remember this, or I remember like that whole movie. Well, not the whole movie, but part of the story I remember differently. I didn't realize like he had some weird like triple identity kind of thing, identity crisis. I thought it was only 2, but it gets kind of 3. I don't know. Just going back and watching old movies is kind of what I've been doing. So like, yeah, Total Recall is one that I kind of watch.
That's
and
I just watched that for a retro crew review, and I was like, I've never, like, I looked at, the cover of the movie, and I was like, what is this garbage?
Well, I never watched the 2012 one. I forgot they remade it, but apparently it was garbage. But
same, I heard that one was hot garbage, and I'm like, look, I'm surprised, I was shocked how, there we go. I was shocked on like how I enjoyed the movie. It was so weird. Yeah, so
it's like it's silly, but it's like the part where he's like, I'm gonna get home so I can have cornflakes or whatever he said. And it was just like, why was that? Like, who wrote that line?
Yeah.
You get home in time for cornflakes. Why would you want to get home for cornflakes? Who runs home and is like, you know what, cornflakes? Like, ooh,
because
corn
somebody
pops
paid enough for that freaking spot right there.
Like, you really wanted to be like, yeah, come on now, say the cornflake.
Raven, what about you? What is something that you've been watching lately? If you have,
I've been going back through and rewatching all of the Great British Baking shows.
Yes,
I freaking love that show.
It's so good!
Right? Like,
so
not
good.
only are the bakes just amazing and wonderful, but like the way they treat each other is so sweet. They're like so nice. Even though they're all competing, they form almost a small found family, and like they try and help each other. I'm like,
Aww.
I need that right now.
Oh, it's so sweet. Yeah,
I love it. I love it so much. Well, that and Paul Hollywood.
Yo, I feel like I'm waiting for like fanfic for Paul Hollywood. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I feel like there's so much out there already.
Actually, him into a spec script that I'm working on because I'm writing a spec script for a show that takes place in the UK, and I don't know much about sports, so I'm like doing references of like British things that I do know.
Love it.
Yeah, it's actually the show that I'm going to recommend, which is Ted Lasso. It's on Apple TV. It is legitimately the most feel-good show I have ever seen in like recent time. Like besides like Schitt's Creek, obviously. It's so pure. It's like it is worth the $5 a month. Like do it for a month. Pay Apple TV for like a month, $5, because that show is worth like more than that. But like it will actually make you feel really nice, and like it's so pure and amazing. It's a character who like basically they're a sports coach who knows nothing about soccer or like football in the UK, and he is hired to lead a team over there, and he is like the most like energetic positive dude. Like he is a reminder of like all those like really cool old like Robin Williams-esque characters. And it's amazing. It's actually so like the idea I have for it is kind of based on something that happened to my husband, because we were talking about that character, and I was like, that dude, like Ted Lasso, if he ever got high, he would totally think he was a cake, which my husband got high and thought he was a cake. So
oh my god.
In his defense, it was his birthday.
It was his birthday. Yes.
Hey.
Oh my god.
He is.
I know we've all wanted to be a cake at some point.
Known as the cake, like just he's the cake, you know.
I mean, and you also like, you put his face? You put his face on the cake.
Yes. So like,
yes.
I thought he was the cake on his birthday. We went out and got a cake, and Stephanie helped me out, and her friend who has a bakery, or was working in a bakery, she printed out his face to put on the cake. So literally, like, we didn't even tell him. We were just like, "Oh, we're getting you like a really cool cake or whatever," and it was literally like, "Happy birthday!" You are the
timing of it all was like, "Oh my god, I can't."
Oh my gosh, I love it.
He saw his face on the cake, and he was convinced that he was that cake. Oh gosh. Well, we just watched Space Sweepers, and it's called Sungyo. Anyways, it's a Korean sci-fi space odyssey on Netflix. It's really good. I've been noticing like a lot more international movies and shows being very popular on Netflix, and I'm just hyped all about it. Like this gave me like Star Wars Galaxy or Guardians of the Galaxy vibes. So it's and that robot. Oh god, I love the robot. It's just, y'all like watch. Like Alex is hyped about it. Like it's such a good movie. Highly recommend if you like Guardians of the Galaxy or you like Star Wars. Just watch it. It's good. It's a movie, so it's not like you need to spend a lot of time watching something, but it's good. It's enough. And I'm like, more please. I can have some more please. But I mean, okay, so I think that's everything that we're trying to cover. So shout out time. It's time for shout outs. Now, Ginger, I know that you're starting a YouTube show, and you even have a podcast on iHeartRadio. So tell us a little bit about
iHeartRadio, Spotify, all those. So I started my YouTube channel after a year of saying I'm going to start a thing. So I have that now. It's L Royalty Clothing, called The Royal Diaries, and I talk about everything fashion entrepreneurship, how to create your own brand, what goes into really being a designer, and just kind of giving more of the like straight talk as opposed to like, oh, it's so glamorous and you do all these like cool things. But there's a lot of actual crying and preparing, and you have to think about all the other aspects of it, and you have to sell your art. So that's what my whole channel is slowly kind of being about. I have a new episode of today where I interview a designer know her, Sultry Vamps. I interviewed her, you know, and on YouTube. My podcast is the same thing. It's you can find it on Spotify. iHeartRadio just approved me, which is cool. I'm like, yay! It's also on Buzzsprout is where I keep it. But if you can, just, you know, it's on a lot of little podcasty sites. But it's the same thing. I talk about the same things that I talk about on my YouTube channel, except that I use different examples because I don't record it at the same time. So I think of different things. My mind is like this. I'm an Aquarius, so my mind is like this. You know, that's why I have a lot of friends who are Capricorn. So they're like, okay, bring you back down from space, you alien.
It's like, oh yeah, no, it was a regular for viewers when I was hosting on NerdBot. It like every once in a while in the comics it'd be like Focus Fox, and I'm like, oh shit, yeah,
right, yeah, that's my problem. So yeah, I mean, you can search the Royal Diary podcast wherever you can find that, and then my Instagram L.royaltyclothing.com. L.royalty clothing is my Instagram. Royalty clothing is my website, but from Instagram it goes everywhere. So on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, all those. I mean, I'm not really on TikTok. I mean, that's like the generation after me. So it's like,
yeah,
I'm trying to
get on the TikToks. The kids love it.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Like I'm like, am I just old?
And they're like, and they've been attacking us on a fashion level, but I want to talk about that on another show. Like,
come at me. I'm old. I don't care.
I spot a millennial wearing ripped jeans, having a side part, and I'm like, I don't look good with the middle part. I'm sorry.
Right.
Like,
look, this is my middle part. Like, look, I stress plucked when I was a kid. Like, this is what happens. Like, look at that. That's a fucking hole.
Does anyone want middle part? Like, I've been doing a side part for a long time, but like,
part my hair.
Apparently,
So.
like, they think that means you're over 30. Essentially, they're like, you're old if you have a side part, and it was like, excuse me.
Okay, whatever. Y'all don't even know what dial-up internet is, so get out of my face. Okay?
Right? You don't know life unless you try dial-up.
You don't know what a floppy disk is.
Download a 30-second video, and it took like 2 hours because I remember downloading those Sailor Moon clips. 30 seconds, just Sailor Moon was like, and I had to wait 2 hours to do that. So please get out of here with that.
Exactly. And Miss Sabina, you're a director. You write articles. You write for a YouTube channel. Like, tell us a little bit.
Dude, I'm all over the place at the moment. I'm actually
you really are.
I was selected for the Start With a Hollywood program, which is a program that uplifts women of color in the industry to meet with as many awesome creative mentors who are currently working in the industry. And I got paired up with an amazing mentor. His name is Cargill. He wrote Doctor Strange and Sinister. I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. Which is really cool because they do such a good job of matching you with people because he actually also started out, he's always been like a writer, but like he was also a journalist for a really long time and made the transition from journalist to filmmaker. And that's ultimate goals here for me because like as Stephanie said, you can find me on like websites like Collider, like comingsoon.net, like SyFy Wire. Collider should hire me to like write more articles, honestly. But I know a thing about romance movies or two. Yeah, like I direct. I currently really am just focusing on my own writing for the moment and trying to get my materials prepped to like actually make some more things as soon as the Panasonic ends. Ready for that to go to flat screen. And but besides that, one of the like small little hobby projects I have going on the side right now is a limited series podcast called Halloween Never Dies. Myself and my co-host Pete, we are watching all of the Halloween movies from like December till October, essentially, for the release of Halloween Kills. And we basically figured out that we have enough months to watch every single Halloween movie that's been made leading up until the new one. And we are not skipping anything, which is terrifying because like we're about to record for Season of the Witch, which is one of the favorites. And then everything after that is crazy bananas. We're also watching the Rob Zombie movies, which, like, I love me some Rob Zombie, the musician. And I like some of his movies, but I tried with the Halloween movies a long time ago, and I wasn't really into it. So we shall see, because we actually have to watch everything and talk about it. If we want to like marathon these movies and have some fun commentary from people with melanin, please follow us. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun. We've had a lot of like awesome guests on, and it's the good times. But yeah, it's on everywhere on like Apple and Spotify. You can find the podcast Halloween Never Dies, a retrospective.
Yeah, I just listened to a couple of them whilst cleaning. I love listening to podcasts whilst cleaning. So I heard some of Ginger's and I heard some of Sabina's. Top notch. They're really good. And Raven, also yours. Very, very, very informative, and I love it. So let's talk a little bit about what you're up to.
Okay, so if you want to find me, the best way to find me is to look for X's for Podcast. We do X-Men and X-Men adjacent comic books. We do a lot of discussions, sometimes on the arcs or individual, issues. We love to talk about them. I just this morning helped to record another X's for Podcast dealing with the Strange Academy, which is an amazing comic book written by Scotty Young. And just it's amazing artwork, great storyline, love it to bits and pieces. We just opened up a Patreon, a YouTube channel. We're like really gaining steam. We would love to have more people. And it's a mostly queer and person of color cast. And so we are definitely all about the inclusivity and how do we get more representation out there. And hopefully in this next year, I'm pushing myself really hard to actually start putting out more of my artwork, getting print set, and actually starting my own comic book that deals with the LGBTQ community as monsters and the real world meeting. So it should be a very fun and interesting blend. But yes, and also you can find me, of course, on a lot of Nom Talks, now Basic Brunches. I have so much fun. Just come look for Dame Red Bento. Trust me, you will find me.
Yes.
Yes, and my shout out will go to First Stop Cosplay. A friend of mine went to business school and started this thing, and it's for, like people that are curious on how to make things, how to sew, for cosplayers, people who want to just like make a skirt at home because, it's panorama time. And it's very informative. They have YouTube videos, they have reels on Instagram, and like I love how much time and effort she puts into these videos. And right now I think like there's a how-to on making like a scrub like mask or something like to help with medical people. I'm bad with words, but check it out.
Put your choice. It's all right.
I'm just gonna Vogue here.
We're
like
voguing now. Pose.
But it's a really like I it's very interesting. So I would highly suggest, if you're curious on those sort of things, to check it out. But ladies and gents and everybody everywhere, thank you so much for tuning into Basic Brunches. Thank you to Ginger, Sabina, and Raven for being guests on Basic Brunches today. Happy Valentine's Day. Whether you have a companion or not, you are loved, and we love you, and be safe. And yeah. Have a good one. Okay, bye.